Hi, I'm Brian Campling with Source Allies, and welcome to the Codebeamer Advanced Configuration Series. We will walk you through the different configuration options for Codebeamer and show you how to fine-tune your out-of-the-box instance. In this video, we are going over advanced tracker configuration. If you haven't seen our video on basic tracker configuration, I recommend watching it first, as this video will assume you already have that knowledge. We will first cover tracker templates, including how to create them and leverage them effectively. Then we will cover setting up and modifying relationships for a tracker. And lastly, we will go over the tracker general configurations. Let's get started with the templates. To leverage templates, we first need to create them. For the tracker we want to use as a template, navigate to the General tab in the tracker configuration. Near the top, you'll see a checkbox that says Available as Template. Select the checkbox and click Save. That's it. This tracker is now a template for us to use. To use the template we just created, click on the Trackers tab and navigate to the parent page for all trackers. Then click the plus icon to create a new tracker. To use the template we just created, we first need to select the same tracker type, which is test case for this example. Then we can choose the template we made from the template dropdown. The checkbox labeled Inherent Template Configuration is checked by default and ensures that any changes to the template are also applied here. Be sure to uncheck if you don't want template changes applied to the tracker after its initial creation. You'll need to fill out the name, key, and description fields as required. I'm also adding a color to make it easier for us to find. And click Save. You now have a tracker that is using a template. Now that we have a tracker that will inherit changes, let's go back to the configuration of the template and update some relationships. We want to allow test cases to verify items from our requirements tracker. To do this, we'll need to click the Fields tab within the configuration. We will be going over this screen in more detail in a future video. On the table, find the row with the Verifies label, and towards the middle, in the Layout and Content column, there is a Work Items Config link, or Work Config Items link. Click that and you'll open up to the Relationship Configuration modal. On this modal, you can see the work items have been scoped to only the project public training. It is possible to establish relationships across projects, allowing for additional flexibility when configuring your tracker relationships. Under the project, you'll see we have two types of associations. The top section is organized by generic tracker type, and the bottom section is organized by specific tracker type. These are the configurations that determine what tracker items are allowed to be associated with this field. Let's add the requirements tracker. Open the dropdown under the System Requirements specification and select Requirements Tracker. Click OK, and then click Save on the Fields tab. Forgetting to click Save after working with a modal is a common mistake. Be sure to ask yourself, did I click Save, before navigating away from any of the tabs in the configuration section. Now, if we navigate to the Fields configuration screen for our new tracker, we could see the changes have been propagated as expected. Scroll down here, find our verifies. We can hover over this to see that we now have the requirements. That covers relationship configuration. I encourage you to play with different relationships, and there are different setups, associations between trackers and across projects. One final thing before we move on, let me show you what this now looks like. If we create a new instance, and come over here. If we double click the verifies, go into edit mode, we can now see that we have the REQ, which are the requirements. Trackers also have several general configuration settings to fine-tune Codebeamer to match your process. These configurations can be found in the General tab under the Tracker configuration space below the description field, right here. The first of these is workflow. This setting can be turned off if a tracker will not need state changes, such as new, in progress, or completed. Next is the referring items setting. Enabling this will prevent users from manually establishing relationships between trackers, and relationships can only be made with workflow actions. Third is the transition setting. Usually when a tracker changes state, a modal opens, providing an opportunity to leave comments before saving the state change. When this is active, the modal does not open and changes are saved immediately. The fourth config is visibility, which will hide the tracker and not list it in the tracker's overview. This is useful when you're still configuring a tracker and don't want it to be used yet. Next, we have default outline, which has two options related to tracker relationships: the show ancestor items and show descendant items. The show descendant items will apply on the table view, document view, and document edit view, and the show ancestor items will apply only on table view. It's hard to remember, so it's incredibly helpful that they have these spelled out here. Now, the working sets, as you can see here, when this is enabled, and it currently is, the tracker is added to all baselines. So when you create a branch, such as for wanting to create a variant, this will not branch off, but we'll go into more detail on this in a future video covering baselines and working sets. So that covers the majority of what you'll need to configure a tracker in Codebeamer. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or email us at ptc@sourceallies.com. Thanks for watching.